The COVID-19 pandemic led to many people saying that this is an opportunity to rebuild economies across the world in ways that are more environmentally sustainable. In Scotland, the government had already announced the Scottish Green New Deal, which, among other things, aimed to have the Highlands and Islands as the world's first net zero aviation region by 2040. There is also the Climate Change Act, which aims to make Scotland net zero in greenhouse gas emissions by 2045. A recent report from climate experts in Scotland suggests that creating more jobs in rural areas would be a helpful step in reducing emissions. That could be good news for people who want to live and work in the Highlands and Islands. Here in the Highlands and Islands, we have a history of generating renewable energy. As far back as the end of the 19th century, one of the first known hydroelectric schemes was built on the banks of Loch Ness. This used water to generate electricity and was the start of a now well-established renewable energy sector in the area. Continuing that early pioneering work, the area is now home to Scotland's largest offshore wind farm, about 8 miles from Wick. This site can generate enough power for around 450,000 homes. Add to this the research being done in Orkney and in other parts of the area into wave and tidal energy, and it's good to know that we live in a part of the world that is active in renewable energy generation. As well as renewable energy, the Highlands and Islands helps tackle climate change by adopting ways to store carbon, therefore slowing the accumulation of greenhouse gases that contribute towards the climate emergency. If we think of a tree in the same way as a person, they basically inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. Planting more trees is one way of reducing carbon dioxide. It also means that we have a renewable supply of wood to build houses and make all sorts of everyday products. The Scottish Government has pledged to plant 150,000 hectares of trees between now and 2030. That's enough trees to cover Inverness more than 50 times. It's not just trees and forests that absorb carbon. Moss and other plants found in peat bogs can do this too. And as these peat bogs can keep growing for thousands of years, they act as long-term carbon stores. In Caithness in Sutherland, there is work going on to conserve the flow country, which is 200,000 hectares of peat bog that is thought to store 400 million tonnes of carbon. These are just a few examples from the Highlands and Islands alone. So it does feel like we really are playing a big part in managing climate change and helping to tackle the climate emergency.